try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
Brittney Griner in tears. Aliyah Boston lifting her squad, and the Indiana Fever punching their ticket to the semifinals for the first time since 2015. Few analysts saw this coming, especially with 6 players sidelined and no Caitlin Clark on the floor. So, how did Indiana rewrite the script? And what does Griner's emotional breakdown reveal about her future? More importantly, how did Boston dominate Griner so thoroughly that whispers of retirement are now surfacing? Could this truly be the end of Griner's career? Share your
And Mitchell's been quiet for a while. Not anymore. Look, in Canada with another assist. A big bounce back night for her. Mitchell dribbles behind the line to take the 3. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
6 players down, that's the hand the Fever were dealt heading into Game 3 in Atlanta. And somehow, they're the ones moving on to the semifinals. Just think about it. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson, Chloe Bibby, Ari McDonald, and Damiris Dantas all out as well. Nearly half of Stephanie White's rotation stuck in street clothes, yet Indiana still managed to end a playoff drought that had dragged on for almost 10 years.
Talked about the desperation before Game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win or go home situation, there's desperation, and so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
The last time Indiana celebrated a playoff series win, Tamika Catchings was the franchise cornerstone. Stephanie White was guiding them to a finals run, and Natasha Howard was only beginning her WNBA journey. In the years since, Fever fans have endured rebuild after rebuild and quick postseason exits. But on Friday, everything changed. Most analysts counted them out, saying they couldn't survive without Clark's shooting or Cunningham's spark. Others believed Atlanta's depth would simply overwhelm them. Instead, it was Indiana who looked like the deeper, fresher team, playing as if they were the ones at full strength.
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and in our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win.
Inside Gateway Center Arena, the atmosphere felt divided at first, but by the second half, Fever fans had taken over, drowning out the Dream faithful and turning an elimination game on the road into something that felt like home. That energy fueled Indiana down the stretch. And don't overlook the impact of the injured stars either. Clark kept rallying her teammates from the bench. Cunningham brought the presence of an extra assistant coach, and Bibby was locked into every huddle. Even without stepping on the court, they gave Indiana the spark of a true sixth man.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
Driving to the foul line and the paint, lays it in. Sims crossover left to right, gets into the paint, layup, good.
Inside, Boston.
That's when you realize just how personal this win was for Indiana's lineup. For Aliyah Boston, it marked her first playoff series victory. The same goes for Kelsey Mitchell and for Lexi Hull, who's fought her way into a meaningful role in the rotation. Every player who stepped on the floor contributed, but for those names in particular, it felt like long-awaited validation. After the chaos of Games 1 and 2 with controversial whistles, missed calls, and late fourth-quarter frustrations, this group kept their composure. In Game 3, the Fever blocked out the noise and slammed the door shut once and for all.
To Jones, throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving on!
Atlanta came in with the healthier roster, the supposed edge, and the benefit of home court. Indiana answered with grit, chemistry, and clutch playmaking when it mattered most. By the time the dream unraveled in the closing minutes, it was resilience that carried the Fever through. And that leads directly to Aliyah Boston's duel with Brittney Griner matchup. That felt like a definitive changing of the guard in the paint. The shock came when Griner spent much of an elimination game on the bench. For years, she was the standard of postseason dominance inside the defender. No one wanted to face the scorer who could shift momentum in an instant. Yet in this series, especially Game 3, she wasn't even trusted to close. That fact alone speaks volumes about how quickly the balance of power
This is just 4 of 16 from the floor in game 2. That's terrific. Paul into Boston.
Beautiful read.
Griner built her legacy by overpowering opponents in the paint using her length, quick first step, and defensive instincts to dominate both ends. In past playoff runs, double-doubles came easy, but against Indiana, that version of her never appeared. She struggled to score, looked slow on defensive rotations, and the Dream couldn't count on her to plug their gaps. Instead of being the anchor, she became the liability. Meanwhile, Aliyah Boston looked every bit like the player Griner once was. In Game 3, she delivered 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And it wasn't just the stat line. It was the timing. With the game on the line in the final seconds, she sealed position, hit the go-ahead layup with 7.4 seconds left, and left Atlanta stunned. That one play felt like it flipped Griner's career highlight reel on its head.
Atlanta has not been good. 40%. Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Indiana electing not to call a timeout. Boston almost gave it away. Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's a second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Boston's defense was every bit as impactful as her offense. She didn't gamble for blocks or bite on fakes. Instead, she used positioning, pushing Griner off her sweet spots, angling her body to force tougher looks, and staying composed when Griner tried to muscle her inside. The result? Shots that once felt automatic started clanging off the rim. By the third quarter, the frustration was written all over Griner's face. There's a big difference between being beaten by sheer talent and being stripped of your comfort zone. Boston gave her nothing. The stats tell the story. Griner, who once averaged efficient double-digit numbers in deep playoff runs, sank 2 career lows in this series, just 2 points and 2 rebounds in one game, losing minutes down the stretch. Boston, meanwhile, not only scored and rebounded but also facilitated, dishing out 6 assists. It was as sharp a contrast as you could possibly draw.
I don't think I've really gotten through all the way that I didn't let down, everybody in my family, and it was just. I think I'm still trying to get through that part. Still to this day. I try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
And now the question looms. Is Brittney Griner's era as a dominant center coming to an end? When a coach benches you in an elimination game, it speaks to more than a single off night. It signals doubt. Griner's career has been filled with accolades and high points, but this series didn't resemble a slump. It felt like a chapter closing. Maybe age is catching up. Maybe retirement is closer than anyone expected. Or maybe she just collided with a player who already embodies the future of the position. While Griner sat quietly on the bench, Aliyah Boston stepped into the spotlight that once belonged to her. And in that moment, it wasn't just about who advanced to the semifinals. It felt like a true passing of the torch, the old standard fading, the new one rising, and no one watching could deny what had just shifted before their eyes.
Mitchell, a little bit too strong. Boy, we got some stuff going on here between Aliyah Boston and Bree Jones, who ended up on the deck. The officials are going to go over to...
Now the focus shifts from one player to the entire roster because, as brilliant as Boston was, Indiana needed more than a single star to finish the job. It took Mitchell attacking, hole grinding through hustle plays, Sims orchestrating the offense, and role players stepping up right when they were called upon. That collective effort is what truly kept the Fever's season alive. Just think about it. This team is still standing after losing 6 rotation players.
Picked up her second foul, so Hillman and Gray each with 2. Mitchell over the Boston screen.
And that was tough, her hands. But going back to that ball screen here, little movement in the first part of that screen by Aliyah Boston.
Mitchell, man,
she is so good.